Okay, so I think I'm audible, right? Alexa, can you play some mild music as I'm coding?
Mild by Permuted
अबे नहीं
on
यार.
Amazon Music.
Alexa, play some mild music for coding.
Here's a station you might like. Bollywood lyrics on Amazon Music.
Is this music okay with you guys? Like सुनाई दे रहा है ज़्यादा कुछ? या फिर सही है मतलब okay okay. नहीं नहीं this is too much. Alexa, can you play Beethoven?
Here's some music by Ludwig van Beethoven on Amazon Music.
Okay. So how many people are over here? I don't think much. Get GCD permuted 1 or 2. Okay, so I will be doing just the 4 problems. Like today, I don't know, like these days I'm not getting that much of grasp over CP. Okay, it's like I'm not being able to do that much of problems. So like I've done only 4 of them. So I'll be discussing that only. Okay, Alexa, play. Okay, the first problem is add to get. I think I should keep the Alexa off. Better away. Okay, first one is add to get GCD. You're given 2 integers. I got it. You're given 2 integers x and y. Your goal is to make them have a common divisor, which is not 1. Okay, and there should exist a z. So that is like basically a better version of it. I think this much is enough. Okay, you have to make them in such a manner that the common divisor, the GCD, is not 1. Okay, in one operation, what you can do is you can either set x as x plus 1 or set y as y plus 1. Okay, that is you can increment x or y in one operation. Find the minimum number of operations to achieve that. So, see, I will divide this into 3 test cases. Okay. First test case is that x and y, without doing anything, their GCD is not 1. One test case. So this will be having 0 test, like 0, right? You can do it directly. That we don't have to do any operation. It is not equal to 1. Or if its GCD is 1, right? If its GCD is 1. So from here, if you are doing any 2 steps, okay, any of the 2 steps, that is, you are either making x plus 1 comma y, or you are making x comma y plus 1, right? And if at any position you find that it is not equal to 1, so you can say that okay, we are done with it, and the answer will be 2. Sorry, not 2, it will be 1, right? We did it in one step. What if I tell you that there is only one more condition that will be coming from here? That is this. Why is it 2? Because you are adding 1 to x and 1 to y. Okay. And there is no other condition that will be coming from here. It is because, see, either x and y both will be even, or both will be odd, or either will be even and the other will be odd. Right? There are only 4 possible cases. So if both of them are even, the GCD is 2. Right? So I think that will be coming over here, this position. Okay. If both of them are odd, their GCD can be coming to this position or coming to this position or coming to this position. So it can go to any position. Okay. So first of all, we are not going to consider for the odd. Okay. We know one thing that if it is, so this condition we can directly remove. Okay. Directly remove this condition because we are already done with it. Right. So it is like either it is even odd even, or odd odd. Now, if it is odd, we can make it even, right? Making x plus 1 and y plus 1. And like if there are two even numbers, their GCD will always be 2, right? Because they are even and they are divisible by 2. So it is not 1. So this is a safe sort condition, okay? So one thing we know, that if both of them are odd, in 2 steps we can make them even. If one of them is odd, in 1 step we can make both of them even. And if one of them like okay, so that's it. There are only two conditions, right? और भाई बताओ क्या चल रहा है? So there are only this like limited number of conditions over here. Now since there are only limited number of conditions over here, so one thing we can directly say कि भाई it will be either 0, 1 or 2. That is the maximum number of increments that we will do. So if it is a 0, it is simple. If it is 1, you can check for x plus 1 and y. And if it is yeah, you can also check for x comma y plus 1. And if it is a 2, you have to check for x plus 1, y plus 1. So you have to go sequentially. Okay. Shit. Did you Were you guys able to see the screen, or did you guys also see encoding overloaded? Okay, there's a overloader of encoding. So I think my FPS will go a little bit down, but the frame rates, like the internet is quite good. Okay, so that's it, right? So it's like you either have okay. So it is like you either have it 0, check it first test case, check for 1, second test case, check for the other one, third test case. None of them satisfies. This will satisfy. You don't have to check for this. Okay, the check is not needed. Directly you can go for this. So there are how many possible conditions? 4. Now if you look at the code that I've done, okay, it is also very simple. It's like I'm having a GCD function, okay, and for every specific element I'm checking if GCD of this is 1, then only I will like if it is not equal to 1, then the answer is 0, right? We don't have to do any changes. If it is 1, we have to go for some changes. That is it, to check if GCD of x plus 1 comma y is not equal to 1. It is so, answer is equal to 1. Or if x comma y plus 1 is not equal to 1, answer is equal to 1. And if none of them satisfies, directly go to the fourth test case, then answer is equal to 2. Okay. So is there any doubt on this? It is an accepted solution for your group. So is there any doubt on this? I think like YouTube is sending notifications to you guys, right? Whenever I come live. I hope YouTube is sending notification to you guys. You guys can hear me, right? I think you guys can hear me properly. Notifications to you guys, right? Whenever I come live. Yeah, you guys can hear me properly. You guys can be a little bit responsive, okay, on the live chat. And if you guys can't like chat on the live chat, what I'll suggest you is like, so subscribe my account, subscribe my channel, and you will be able to do it. Okay, so I've just turned on subscriber only mode because of like a lot of spamming happens. So yeah, it's better to have subscribers only. And yeah, people also subscribe me if I put it on subscribers only to chat. Okay, okay. So the second question is permuted greater than true. It is a question. You're given an array A consisting of x zeros, y ones, and z twos. Check if it is possible to rearrange the array in such a order that is A of I plus A of I plus 1 is always greater than equal to 2. Okay? That is, every two consecutive number, if you add them up, it should be greater than equal to 2. And what is it? It is 0, 1s, and 2s. Right? The array is made of 0, 1s, and 2s. So, how many possible ways can this happen? It is like there are two positions, right? And over here, there can be a 0, 1, 2. Over here also 0, 1, 2. Right? So, there are 3 into 3 conditions. Right? And how many of them we need to consider and we don't need to, like whichever, how many of them will be satisfying and how many of them will not be satisfying. That is our aim. What the fuck, man? Just a minute. सी प्लस और जावा दोनों कैसे कर पाते हो? देखो वही है ना कि मैं सीपी में सी प्लस प्लस करता था, अभी भी करता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं है करता था, बट वो डीएसए के लिए जावा करता हूँ क्योंकि लाइक दैट इज द लैंग्वेज दैट आई यूज फॉर डेवलपमेंट स्टफ. सो yeah, so it's like good for me to code in Java with the DSA stuff. So yeah, I have to keep on track with both of them. Like if I'm doing lead code, I go for Java. If I'm doing code forces or Codechef, I go for C++ because I don't know how to write that fast scanner and those stuff in this. Okay, so and it also like keeps me in track that okay, I know both the language. I'm keeping in track with both of the language, but yeah, Java is my first priority. Okay, so it can be like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, right? It can be 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. It can be 2, 0, 2, 1, and 2, 2. How many conditions won't be satisfying? The sum which is having less than 2. That is 1 or 0. This is not going to satisfy. I'll use, I think red is okay. This will not satisfy. This will not satisfy. This will not satisfy. And everything else will satisfy. Right? Everything else will satisfy. So, do you notice one thing? Whenever there is a 0, it was not satisfying. Okay. So, apart from this case, that is 2, 0 or 0, 2, right? So, one thing is very much evident that if you want to place a 0, you have to pair it with some other 2. Okay. Otherwise, it won't be satisfying. So, one thing is very clear ki I know there are x number of zeros, y number of ones, and z number of 2s. So, I have to pair x number of zeros with x number of 2s, right? That means first condition is that if z is greater than equal to x, then only it is possible, right? Because I have to have that number of 2s to pair it up. है ना? So this is a possible condition. If z is greater than equal to x, so yeah, it is possible. But there is also one more possibility. That possibility comes when there is no y, there is no 1 in it. Okay. In that case, we can do the pairing like this: 0, 2, 0. Okay. Over here, 1, 2 is shared between two zeros. Okay. Right? So sometimes there will be one extra 0 which will be sharing the 2 of some other 0. That is permissible. But that is only permissible if there is no 1 in it. Okay, because if there is a 1 in it, कहीं पे भी डाल दो, इधर डाल देते हैं. Now this is not satisfying, right? There is a 1 over here, not satisfying. 1 over here, not satisfying. Sorry, ये तो satisfy हुआ, not satisfying. 1 over here, not satisfying. So when there is no 1, you can go for one other technique, that is z is greater than equal to x minus 1. So even if z is greater than equal to x minus 1, in that case it will be satisfying. That is when y is equal to 0 and this. Okay, it is either z is greater than equal to x or y is equal to 0 and z is greater than equal to x minus 1. Okay, so any one of them satisfies, it is satisfied. Okay, any doubt on this? Any doubt you can write in the live chat. I'll just till then I'll just explain the code. Okay, x y z answer is initially no. Now there are two steps: y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. Okay, if y is equal to 0, z greater than equal to x minus 1 should give me yes. But if it is not so, then yeah, we have to strictly consider z is greater than equal to x. Okay, yeah. For your confirmation, it's the correct answer. Like I think these questions, like many of you have done it. Okay, that's good to see. These are easy questions. That's also right. But like I feel that the questions over here, the colored array and grid path hard. Okay, this has got 50 submissions, which is okay, good, not much people. But this has got 214 submissions. Like this is also like okay. I don't think not much people have done this also. This 51 is still okay, considerable, but this 214 one, sometimes it feels like okay, or maybe it may be like Chat GPT did. Okay, I don't know, because Chat GPT is getting quite better in solving CP contests, so maybe Chat GPT also can do it. Okay, I never know. That's good. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Add one or two. You're given an array A of size n. There will be B1 that is also B of size n. And what you can do is, for every specific element B, you can either add 1 to A of x. What is x? X is actually B of I. Okay, you can add, oh no, sorry, x is I. Okay, x is I. So you can add 1 to A of x, or you can add 2 to A of y. What do they mean? I'll just tell you. Okay, let's say you're having, I'll use this color, looks good, white. You're having one array A. Okay, this is A. You're having another array B. Same. Okay, so now that you see that both of them are looking the same, got stuck in this question. Oh, okay, got stuck in this question. Then I'll explain it. Okay, I thought like many people have done it, so okay, that's good to see. Okay, it's like good to get stuck. Okay, I feel that it's good to get stuck, so that like at a later point it won't feel like okay I can do it. It will feeling like okay there is a pattern that I know about it. Okay, because after all like every question comes down to one pattern only. Any of the patterns like DP question, okay, this is going to come down to the memoization type of pattern. You can have a recursion relationship out of it. Segmentary questions, okay, this is like a kind of range question. Try questions, okay, this is a string question. Somewhat like Bloom filter. So these are like patterns, okay, and you have to like get visualization of it. Okay, so it is like for every specific element, what you're having some number. So let's say this is 5, okay, which means from this 5, you can add 1 to this element any number of times. Let's say you're adding 1 to this 3 number of times, okay, and throughout any other positions, you can spread the remaining 2, okay. But remember one thing: whenever you're spreading, you have to add 2 instead of adding 1. Okay, what do I mean by that? See the question. There will be B1 till B of n total events with exactly B of I events of type I. The type I events will happen before the type I plus 1 because that is in sequential manner. In an event of type X, you must do the exactly one of the following. You have to add 1 to A of X or add 2 to A of Y. Okay, for every specific. So I think it will be better like if you go on to check with some example, okay, what they are trying to convey. This is, I think, this is a very good example. Okay, this is a very good example to explain. Okay, it is like 99. Okay, I am 99 and this is 66. अब इस पे देखना, ठीक है? What is it telling us? It is telling us that the answer is. I'll just first of all tell you what the answer is. Okay, the answer is 131. Why is it 131? I'll tell you. Okay, so let's say the answer is 131. So if I add this 38 and 27, okay, this is my A. Okay, if I add them, what happens? It is well within 131, right? What it becomes? It becomes 560. It is 65, right? 65. This becomes 65. Now if I add these two, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that is 126, right? Good. Good enough. Now if I add this 99 and 66, this becomes 165, right? You can notice one thing, this 165 is greater than 131, right? So we can't make this 165. So we have to make it 131, right? So how many are we are subtracting from here? It is 165 minus 131. Nothing but 34, right? Now remember one thing, I just told you, you can't take out this 34 and put this to some other elements in these where there is not 131. Okay, you have to add them twice. Okay, so from this 34, see 126 and 131. How can you reach to 126 to 131? You can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, two times. You can add plus 2 to it, right? Two times you can add. So from this 34, I can make it 32 and add 2 times plus 2 to it so that it becomes 130. Right? Remember one thing, you can't have any specific element more than that. You can't have any specific element more than that. Okay? 32. Now this 32 remaining, if I add all of them to this, so 32 into 2 is 64, right? If I add all of them to it, it becomes 129, which is also within the 131 limit, right? So we are happy with it, right? Okay, done. Now the question is, why not 132 or why not 130? 130 is okay. I mean, sorry, no. 132, like if you ask me, like why not 132? Because 131 is the smallest that we can have. And it was given that we have to go for the minimum. Okay, find the minimum value. You have to minimize the maximum, right? But why not 130? Let's check with 130. So for 130, this becomes 35. Okay, I mean, this becomes 130, but now I am having 135 like remaining. Okay, I have to spread it across, right? So from here also I can make this 130 and I can take away 2 from here, right? 33. Now 33 into 2 is 66. So if I add 66 to 65, it becomes nothing but 131, right? But this 131 is not less than 130, right? So you can't add it. So you can add only 64 to it, right? So it becomes 129, which is okay with us. But then in that case, we will be remaining with 1, okay? 1 that we haven't added over here. So since this 1 is remaining, we can't do. We can't go for the answer is for 130. Okay, is this whole thing clear? Like whatever I explained till now. This is for Vedant only. Is this clear? Because I don't know why like today not much people are watching this. Vedant, is it clear? And even if people are watching it, you guys need to be a little bit responsive in the live chat, okay? just be a little bit responsive in the live chat so that like I know that okay you guys are there. वरना मजा नहीं आता, ठीक है, ऐसे समझाने में. मैं मतलब पहले ही बोलो कि भाई I can pre-record videos out there like other content creators and I can just keep it done there, okay. And if you find that okay you can chat in the live chat, it's because you haven't subscribed to me, okay. You can subscribe to me, okay. The moment you subscribe to me, if even if the live chat is not visible at that time, what you can do is put off my stream and re-click on the stream, okay. Okay, बैक दबाओ, हटा दो स्ट्रीम को, फिर जाके वापस खोलो, the live chat will be enabled for you. Okay, clear है? चलो 132 clear है. Now how are you going to do this? It is also very simple. What you can do is, मुझे तो याद भी नहीं है कौन सा मैंने यूज किया था इसका लॉजिक. अच्छा, ये वाला लॉजिक यूज किया था, CNI CI वाला. Okay, see, so this part, this 130 131, it is very much evident from here that this is a binary search. Okay, we can have a binary search and check for all the ranges from L to R. And अगर 130 satisfy कर रहा है तो we will try to reduce it, right? और अगर 131 satisfy कर रहा है तो we will try to reduce it. But if 130 is not satisfying, right? So we will try to increase it. And if it is satisfying, you can say, okay, the answer is I'm okay with the answer, right? You can go for it. So now look at the code that I've done. Okay, there is a lot of comments. If you want to understand what this comments mean, I can explain you that also. You can like be frank enough in the live chat if you want to understand this. It's like whenever you're coding something, you have to go through steps. Okay, these are the steps that I went through, and then I just realized, okay, I don't need to do that much. Okay, see, this is a binary search part, and L is basically nothing but the maximum of whatever is still now, because you know, like you have to either add 1 or 2 to the elements, right? So whichever is the maximum element, that will remain the maximum. Maybe it will be more than that, not less than that. So L is the maximum, R is the maximum plus, let's say in the worst case scenario, all the elements, I mean everything that is in BRR, okay, everything that is in over here, that I have to add in this, I don't add in this, I add the twice of it in some other number, right? Because that is the maximum that I can add the twice of that. So I can make it r plus is equal to x, or I could have also gone for like r plus equal to 2 into x. That also makes sense. Okay, actually this makes more better sense. Okay, r plus equal to 2 into x. Okay, great. So while L is less than equal to R, you just perform a binary search. What is CI and what is CNI? CI is can increment. CNI is cannot increment. What do I mean by that? See, notice one thing what we are doing. Can increment is which way is maximum, this or BR of I plus 1 plus this minus mid. What do I mean by that? See, my target is to get mid, right? But even after adding, like if after adding, it feels like okay, it is exceeding me, it is exceeding the mid. So I have to keep some remaining, right? This thing, this is a CN. I mean not CN, CI. Okay, can increment. Like we can increment it later on. But if it is like what we can't increment, rather we are decrementing. I think it should be like DI. Okay, sorry, CD. That will be a better naming for it. Just for for me to understand that it is a negation of CI, so I make it CNI. Okay. And what is this? This is the opposite of that. That is mid minus AR of I minus BR of I by 2LL. That is whatever is remaining from here. So let's say when this was 65 and this was 131, right? So let's say if I am subtracting it, it becomes 5, 6, okay, and 6, right? 66, which means I can add 66 to it. But remember one thing, whenever something else is going to contribute to it, it becomes double. So what I can do is, I can divide it by 2 in advance. So I know that I can add 33 from some other part. I can add maximum 33 to it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Mid minus this by 2. Okay, clear? I hope this is clear. This makes proper sense. Okay, so I just go on adding it. At the end, if I feel that whatever I cannot increase, I mean I can decrease, is greater than equal to whatever I have increased, then it's a false position, right? It's a false position. I can't go for it. Otherwise, I can go for it. So I meant the opposite one. Okay, if it is greater than equal to this, so I can go for it. Okay, this means that I can go for it. Okay, so I make r is equal to mid minus 1 LL. Otherwise, I make L is equal to mid plus 1 LL. So I make it answer as L. Okay. Otherwise, what you could have done is, like, you could have done it like this also. Over here, you can get the answer as mid. This also works. Okay, this will also work. So in either case, you can go for it. So I hope this is clear, right? Is this clear? And any doubt in this, or do you want me to explain anything specific to it? Tell me, man. Like, if you want me to explain it, okay, clear. Okay, great, great, great. I didn't notice it actually. कुछ तो जगह पे फेल हो गया. पता नहीं, like it should work like normally, but okay. So let's go with grid path easy. Okay, so this is the last problem that I will be explaining. This is the easy version of the problem and is worth usual 100 points. Okay, k is where q is equal to 0. So for now, you don't need to know what is q. Okay, you have a binary grid of size 2 into n. The jth character of ith row is a of I comma j. In one operation, you can choose a row and x. That is, you can swap a of x comma y and a of x comma y plus 1. That is, you are allowed to make adjacent swaps in the same row. Okay, this is the most important thing. You are allowed to make adjacent swaps in the same row. You have to find out the minimum number of operations that you need to do. That is the minimum number of swaps that you need to do to have a write down path from 1 1 to 2 comma n. It is given that you can go either right or you can go down. So one thing is very much evident from here, like if you want to go, so this is your starting point, okay, and this is your destination. So if there is like a top down, sorry, not top down, if it is like down right approach, okay, so it is like the path should be like this, right? It should be somewhat like this. This is the only type of path where there is a down right approach. You can't go like this and you can't go up, okay, neither can you go left. You can't go up, neither can you go left. Okay, it is either top or down. I mean, it's either right or down. Okay, so this is clear, right? How the path is going to be formed. It is somewhat like this. It is not exactly like this. This can also be a path. This is also a path. This can also be a path, right? This can also be a path. This can also be a path, right? The paths are like that. And in the path, every element should be one. Okay, in the path, every element should be 1. You have to make it in such a manner. So isn't it very much evident, like this blue line, how the pattern of this should be? This is something that I just tried to make you understand, because this is a very important concept. This is a core concept of this problem. Okay, how the blue line will be there. So one thing you can see, that in this first part, in this first array, okay, there are consecutive ones at the beginning, and in this second array there are consecutive ones at the end, and the ones are in such a manner that if I am considering some position, okay, if I am considering, let's say, some position, uh, I can't use some other color. I think I will go for uh, pink, I guess. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So let's say if I'm choosing this specific index, okay, CNI R is equal to mid minus 1. Explain once again. Oh, okay. CNI, see, if you look at this part, okay, let me explain you with this only. Okay, 65, whatever the values were. Okay, it is 65, 126, 165. So अब देखना, ठीक है, CI का वैल्यू क्या हो रहा है और CNI का वैल्यू क्या हो रहा है. First of all, let's go for 130. CI is 130 minus 65. 66 by 2, that is 33. CI है ना वो, जो भी होगा, like I think I'm just messing up with these two terms. So let's say this is CI only. So it is 33. फिर वापस क्या रहा, 126, 130. Difference is 4. 4 by 2 is 2. इसमें क्या आएगा? It will be 130 minus 165. That is in negative. Okay, since it is negative, I will keep it 0. Okay, now let's go for CNI. CNI का क्या सीन है? CNI will be the opposite, right? The opposite, that is 65 minus 130. It is also negative, so it is going to be 0. 126 minus 130, negative, so 0. This is 165 minus 130, that is 35, right? Okay, I made a mistake. It is 130. Okay, 130 minus 65, so that is 65 by 2, that is 32 actually. Okay, this will be 32. Okay. Now if you add them up, this becomes 34, and if you add these up, this becomes 35, right? So is this condition clear, that is 35 greater than equal to 34? CNI, yeah, it is greater than, right? So this is also something wrong. This is supposed to be CI and this is supposed to be CNI. Okay. So is 34 greater than equal to 35? No, right? So it is not going to satisfy. Okay, clear. But at the same point, if I am going for 131 over here, okay, I am going for 131 over here. So अभी इधर क्या होगा? 33 only. 33. This will be 131, 2 only. This will be 0. This will be 0. This will be 0. And this will be कितना हो रहा है? 34. 34 हो रहा है ना? हाँ. 165 minus 131 is 34. Okay. अभी देखो, अभी इसका क्या आ रहा है? 34. और इसका क्या आ रहा है? 35. Is this condition satisfying now? CNI greater than equal to CI. Now it is satisfying. तो 130 के लिए satisfy नहीं कर रहा था, 131 के लिए satisfy कर गया. So 135, so 131 is a good answer. right? Now is this clear, Shubh? Shubh, is it clear now? Okay, great. Chalo. So whatever I was discussing, okay. So this part, like whenever you are having you are at a specific position, so till that position, if you want to make all the positions before that in the first row as one, how many swaps you need to do? And in the second row, how many positions? I mean, for all the positions from that position till the end, if you want to make all of them one, how many swaps you need to do? Right? You add them up. That is your answer. Right? For every position, you can add them up. Sounds good. How to do that? Okay. How to do that? Let's say the ones were not over here. Okay. Let me remove everything. And the ones were at over here. One was over here, and another one was over here. So if I want to put the first one to this position, how many swaps? The difference between them. That is, I swap this and this, right? So there are two. So that is two. It means that it will be taking two swaps. Now the second one is over here, so I have to put this over here. How many swaps? It is again one, two, three. Okay, it is three, right? So in total, how many swaps you needed to do? It is five, right? So for this, it was five. So isn't it very much evident that you can use a DP for this, or rather prefix some or some DP, like whatever you feel like, you can use it, right? What you can do is you can find the positions of ones, right? You can find the position of ones, and for every specific position, what you can do is you can check like, okay, at this position I wanted, so keep it over here, man. At this position I wanted, so keep it over here, man. Okay, I think it will be better if I go with a proper code of what I have done. Okay, see, I'm taking ARR, I'm taking BRR. Okay, I'm having a DP for A and DP for B. And for all the elements I'm checking, J is equal to 0, okay. And AR of I is equal to, like for, I am traversing through all the elements. The moment I find there is a 1, J is 0, so I have to put a 1 over 0, that is the first position. So I just find out how many swaps I need to do. Okay, to put up 1 at position J, I need to do I minus J swaps, because that is the first position that the 1 is happening. And I can go for the next J. Then again the next one that I get, I have to do I minus j swaps and then go to the next j, right? Doing this we can go on. And similarly for B also, for DPB also we can do it just the opposite. That is, instead of going from the front to back, we can go from the back to the front. Okay, that is what I have done over here. G minus I, same thing. J is n minus 1. And we are checking that if there is a 1, okay, put it at the end. If there is a 1, put it at the end. Okay, put it at the end where there is not a 1. Okay, so this is very much clear, right? And then I am just using the DP as a prefix sum, because obviously I just told you, like, since this was 2 and this was 3, but just 2 and 3 is not going to work. I have to add this 2 and 3 up, right? So that is the reason I am doing this, and for every specific question I am adding whatever is coming before that. That is for the prefix sum. Okay, this is the prefix sum part for both of them. At the end, I have to traverse for all the indices and find that if both of them, DPA and DPB, can have consecutive ones, DP1 can have consecutive ones from the beginning to that position, and DPB can have consecutive ones from that position to the end. Then I have to check, like, if answer is equal to minus 1, that is it has not been earlier revealed, then it is DPA plus DPB. Otherwise, whichever is minimum, answer or DPA plus DPB. Okay. Any doubt on this? See, if you have any doubt, you can write it in the live chat, okay? Because this is the last question that I will be explaining. If you guys have no doubt, I'll just move on to the rating of the problems, okay? I'll rather use a poll for this, okay? Okay, I wrote doubt. Okay, so if you have a doubt, you just click on yes. If you don't have a doubt, click on no. What's up, man? What's up? No response. I will consider it as a no. Okay. Okay. No. Great. 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 No doubt. Good. So I think I can end the poll, or let's keep it up for a little bit. Okay. So since there is no doubt, I'll move on with rating of the problems. Okay. Uh, add to get GCD. Okay. Easy question. Permuted. Easy question. Add one or two. Add one or two was. Add one or two was. Okay, the one that I was explaining, right? That is a medium one. And this grid path easy. Medium, or rather, I can go for easy. Oh no, let's since it was a DP, so yeah, let's keep it medium. Okay. And I have checked this colored array and grid path hard. Grid path hard is nothing but it's like which one is medium. So colored array is like I think it's a matter of time. So yeah, everything else I will rate in the hard part. Okay. It was a good contest overall. I feel like this should be the level of code that they should set. See, it's like I'm having a negative delta over here. Okay, but it's okay. 778, I get it. It's okay. It's completely okay. Like these type of contests is good. Where like you have to add one or two. Okay, you're saying that add one or two should be medium. Yeah, it is medium only. See, I'm keeping it as medium only. It is medium. I get it. It deserves to be in the medium version. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, guys. Good night. Okay, good night.